Welcome to Let Black Women Speak Wanted podcast. I'm Whitney,
And I'm Ta'Cha.
and we're going to be discussing the topic of healing the Black love with the subtopic today of double standards in relationships. And with this topic, double standards,
Absolutely.
it's plenty of double standards in a relationship because the
Period.
woman is put in a position that she's supposed to do this, this, and that, and the man is supposed to do this. Like, I really think the double standards come from people putting titles on the gender roles in a relationship. Like, each person's relationship gonna be different because each person can accept what they want to accept and do what they want to do. So it's like, why say only men take the trash out, or this and this and that? Like, we all can share the same roles. Like, I don't know. It's different meanings to that double standard in relationships. Like, what's your take on it?
Personally, coming from your perspective of the double standards,
Yeah.
due to the systematic um, warfare against the Black family,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of men were raised without a father. And then a lot of us women were raised without a mother. So
Mm-hmm.
personally, I can speak my personal experience with my husband. He was raised with a mother, and I was raised by my father.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't go by the stereotype of the everyday world due to the fact that our family was broken. Yes, in a real world where we have healthy family relationships, yes, it would be the man's role to make all the money, to do that, because we have a healthy family village where the grandma's still in the picture, the mama's still in the picture. So yeah, we can live like that. But in the time of day that we're in right now, on your perspective, we have to modify that gender role due to the fact it was strategically, systematically like destroyed. Our family structure was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So in my personal relationship, I was taught by my father how to hustle, how to just get it by any means necessary, no matter what. And my husband, he had more of how to run the household and how to maintain the kids and have that good balance with the kids because he was raised by a nurturer.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he was raised in the feminine and I was raised in the masculine.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did to make it work for us, if something happened where he had lost a job or his business was slow, I would just take the lead. Like, okay, baby, when it comes to finance, I'll take care of this. But can you make sure the kids get up for school and get on the bus? And we would just really, it was teamwork. We had to modify those roles due to the strategic warfare that was, sent upon our generation after they killed Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, right now in these time of days with so much wickedness and evilness and so much of the devil's destruction when it comes to the Black family, we have to just modify to adapt to the new environment, to the new circumstances. Yeah. But my stance on double standards in relationships in the Black community is where the boys, my prime example, and my thing is, I just wasn't educated. If I was educated and I knew like why, okay, a girl can't be like a boy when it comes to dating, then I wouldn't have did it. But I wasn't educated on it. So being raised by 10 brothers and hella cousins that was dudes, my perspective was as a man's perspective. I acted like a woman, but I thought like a man. And my thing was, when I was younger, I felt like I could do what the boys could do. If they can have meaningless relationships with women, get what they want and leave, why can't I? Mm-hmm. So that was just me being in ignorance. But at the same time, that is a double standard. Why is it okay for your son to spread his royal oats and sleep with 20 to 30 women before he settled down? But if a woman sleeps with 5 to 10 men, she's labeled a thought or a whore.
Yes, yes.
That's not righteous. Like either way, a young man and a young woman should be on the same level playing when it comes to bodies. And especially if a man say he wants a virgin, you need to be a virgin. Why is it an emphasis on the man? He cannot be a virgin, but the woman needs to be. I mean, back in the day, they used to kill women. They named it like it was a dishonor. But a man, he's just out here sleeping with all kind of women, and nothing dishonors him. That it's a double standard, and it's toxic masculinity for me. That's what I think it is.
Most definitely it is.
And why is the man lifted up on this high horse? And I think that's why we're in the position that we are in right now.
Most definitely.
And a lot of men want to be feminine because they have lifted these men up on, I mean, it's unbearable. All the expectations they have for men. Like it's unbearable. So I believe that is a strong reason why men are are being feminine, because it's too much. Like they can sleep with all these women, and then they have to provide. Then they have to, I mean, they have a lot of responsibilities.
They do.
And I don't even think they're equipped for it. You know, they equipped us for the responsibilities that the men have.
True.
We're at home maintaining the family, getting education, learning how to maintain bills, while he's out just sleeping with every woman in the neighborhood, taking virginities. And you get what I'm saying? So it's like, make it make sense.
Right.
Like it's like literally, like unconsciously, they didn't even know that they were preparing us for days like this.
Yeah.
We're able to be by ourselves, control our sexual desires, take care of our children, work, go to school, do everything a man can do and some. Why the men are just held up like, oh, he's a king. He could just go play with his boys, go play sports, go just have fun, go sleep with all these women, and he's a king. But if she do that, she's a whore, she's a thought, she's a slut. But on top of that, she needs to take care of her kids. She needs to work. Like it's toxic. It's real toxic.
Yeah.
Girl, we gotta heal. We gotta heal.
And
we gotta
I wanted
heal.
to speak on something I had seen. A guy was talking about how he was dating a woman and they're not together anymore right now. But going into the relationship, he let her know that, you know, he wanted to have people on the side and do his own thing on the side. She was
wanted to be poly. He wanted to be poly.
I wouldn't say poly, because poly, your mate is in on it with you too. Right?
Oh, so he just basically wanted an open relationship. Oh, okay.
Yep, an open relationship. Yep, he wanted that, and so she was okay with it. And told him as long as he take care of home. But I guess exactly. I guess as things progress, she wasn't liking it. Because he probably was doing what he wanted to do too much, and so she wasn't liking it. So they broke up. And he's speaking on it, talking about, well, she knew what she was getting into,
What?
So I let her know what I wanted. And she told me as long as I take care of home, then that's fine. But as humans, we're jealous. When you love somebody, you only want that person. So it's like...
And see, you got to understand with that. Sex is exchange. It's a scarce exchange of energy. He's out here. He's bringing her diseases. He's bringing her depression. He's bringing her everything he's picking up for all those women that, I mean, she's basically a trash can.
But then again, honestly, he probably could have a certain people on the side and keeping it clean.
No, if it got toxic, that means it wasn't clean.
No, I mean, I'm not sure if it was toxic or anything like that, but I'm just saying, if he had like a certain chick that he's dealing with and not just multiple different people, but he got his side chick, that he deal with, they get checked, whatever they do, you know what I'm saying? He's not bringing nothing back home.
Girl, boo. I think it's a little boy syndrome. That's what I call that. You're a little boy, you're not a man. If you can't handle one woman is enough. If you need multiple women, you're a boy.
If somebody come to me and say that they want an open relationship, I'm not enough and I'm not what you want.
You
Period.
open the door. You can open the door and walk
And
out.
walk out.
That's how open we're gonna get. You want an
Okay.
open relationship? Open the door and walk out and don't come
Yes,
back.
because
Cause
basically you're telling me that I'm
no,
not enough for
no.
you. That's all you saying to me.
Or you telling me that you greedy. That's a
That's
greedy
a
man. That's a
yep.
greedy man.
Yep.
And a man that can't control his sexual desire is not a man. That's a
Right.
boy.
Right. Because you haven't reached that level of being a man yet.
Period.
Exactly.
Period.
It's a mental thing. And the
Yes.
same as being a woman, it's a mental thing. You have to
Yes.
control your emotions and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
That control
Yes.
and knowing who you are
Yes.
and what you
Absolutely.
stand for. That's
Yes.
when you know you're a woman.
Period.
You
Period.
know,
Girl, it's levels to womanhood. It's levels
it's
to
so many
manhood.
levels. So
But
many levels.
on the subject of double standards in dating,
Yeah.
especially in the Black community, the
Yeah.
Black men, they have to grow up.
Yeah.
You cannot expect me to follow you, to submit to you, if you're not exhibiting behaviors of a man.
Yes,
I would
yes.
love to be submissive. I would love to do whatever you ask me to do,
It's
but you got to be a
the
man.
nature of a woman to be submissive.
It's in my nature, baby.
Exactly.
It's in my nature.
Exactly.
But if the man is took out the picture, it's also in my nature to go in survival mode, to go in my lioness mode, because I have to protect my cubs with or without you.
Mm-hmm.
So a man cannot get upset about that or say that you're too masculine or, oh, you don't know your role. No, honey, you have put me in this position because you're not walking in your position. So I don't have no other choice but to do your role and my role.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah. So, I mean, in the Black community, the moms need to raise their, hey. The moms need to, hey. The moms need to raise their young men with the same privileges as the young daughters. If you don't want your daughter having sex, you don't need to be allowing your son to have sex.
Right.
Now,
right.
boys are going to run off and do what they want, but you need to make it clear to them. Like with my boys, I let them know, like, you do what you do, you grown, but that's not a good idea. What these men do, they cheerlead when their sons are out here sleeping with multiple women. Oh, they want to hear the stories. He's a player. He's a mad. He's a pimp. But when their daughter do it, oh, it's shameful. It's shameful to the family. Oh, she's a fast tail. Oh, she's a whore. But what about your son?
Most definitely.
What about your son?
It's so crazy because it's like a rites of passage for the boy to,
Period.
be having sex and, he get the daps up. He might get a drink or something with his older cousins or his daddy, his brother. Like, it's a rites of passage or something. But then again, he's having sex with somebody's daughter. That man and that mom don't want their daughter doing nothing. So it's
and most of the time when the boys are done with them, they just dispose of them. And she's depressed, she's broken, she's feeling unworthy. And it's just like, it's toxic. So basically, my moral of my story is the Black family, the father and the mother, you need to look at your sons and your daughters equally. You need to teach them the same thing. You need to teach them to be loyal. I teach my sons, if you're dating someone, you date her and you date her only. Don't be going out here sleeping with different women. Now, is she playing games with you? Okay, let the games begin. That's y'all business. But as far as like cheating on women and thinking you a player, no. If I don't want my daughter out here, I don't want my son out here. And men need to get on that same page.
Most
And
definitely.
what the thing is, the men in our age group, the men in their 30s and their 40s, they need to grow the hell up. Like, you need to mature up and you need to self-educate. If you didn't have a father, stop using that as an excuse. Oh, I didn't have a father, so I don't know what a man is. YouTube, Google, therapy. There's so many leaders. You could go to church. You could go to a mentor club. There's so many men podcasts. Like, do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work. Do the work. Do the work. The thing is, men don't want to do the work. And another thing is, I'm noticing with my brothers, they don't want to be single. They one relationship to another relationship. When do you heal? When do you exhale? When do you get yourself together? When do you acknowledge the things that you did wrong in the past relationships and fix them, or you won't take it to the next relationship?
Yep. People don't know how to do that because they feel like, shoot, I'm missing out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sit around and be worried about somebody else. I'm about to go out here and find something else. Like, no, you
Period.
really you need time to reflect. Reflect on what was happening and what was going on to tear that relationship apart, or what was you not paying attention to. The shadow work is something else. Like,
Girl,
that shadow work, it ain't no joke.
it ain't even really. I mean, in the spiritual realm, yeah, they call it shadow work.
Yeah.
But in the natural, and in our upbringing, it's just healing. You
Just
need time to
healing.
heal. You need to go heal.
Is healing and reflecting.
Yes, healing and
You
coming up is healing and reflecting.
You have to reflect on your past. You have to reflect on, what was going on. What was you not paying attention to?
Absolutely.
Reflect on all those things, and you have to take accountability for some stuff too.
Yep.
Being in a relationship, you belong to a lot of things, a lot of
Yes.
stuff.
Absolutely.
And when you sit and reflect on things, you gotta
It
take
makes you,
accountability for that. And some things is very hurtful,
yeah.
and some
And
things
then,
you don't want to really face, but you have to,
and I,
so.
after my husband passed, a lot of my ex-boyfriends wanted to resurface, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you're single. You're single. And I'm just listening to them. And one of the guys literally told me, like, he wanted me because he wanted me to teach him things.
Uh-huh.
No, sir. No, sir. You're the man. You're supposed to educate me. Basically, he was saying, I want a sugar mama. I want a woman of
Oh,
your status
no.
to get me out of the shape that I'm in. I'm not your
Mm-mm.
mama. That's your mama's job. Your mama should
Exactly.
have educated you. Your mama should have put you in a better position for you wouldn't have been in the situation you in. I'm thinking in the back of my head, like, boy, you want a mama. I can't
Exactly.
teach you nothing. I can't do nothing for you.
Mm-mm.
Now, if you was a grown man, we can come together and we can build each other up, and you can educate me. I'm your helpmate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not your God. I'm not your teacher. I'm not your sensei. I'm your helpmate. God created me to help you,
Mm-hmm.
not to do everything for you can sit back and think you the man and act like you King Tut. Like, girl, our generation of men, they need to heal. And they mamas, they need to get back in their son's ear, like, hey, son, because these mamas think their job is done when their son's 18. You still need to be guiding your son. You still need to be directing him. You need to be dropping gems on him. Yeah, you don't have to be all in his business, telling him to get your nails done, hair done like that because he ain't your man. But you still should be giving your son wisdom. I have a grown son. I'm not all in his business. I back up, but I still, if I see him out, if I see him moving a certain way, or if I see him not doing the things that I taught him, I talk to him and I'm like, hey, you need to make sure you're doing that. You got to make sure you're doing that, son. I'm your life coach.
Yeah.
I'm the person right now. I'm your counselor. I'm
Mm-hmm.
that person you come to when things is hard to figure out. You come and talk to me about it and we figure it out together. Women got to
Exactly.
understand that. Women get to the point where they get their boyfriend or whoever their new man is after their kids move out, and they forget about their sons. Honey, your sons still need a lot of teaching.
Yes.
And he need Jesus. Because if he ain't got God in his life, he ain't got nothing.
Nothing at all.
If you ain't got God, you ain't got nothing. And you
Nothing.
can't run, because it goes in order. You got God, you got man, and then you got woman, and then you got the children. If the man ain't got God, girl, you shouldn't be letting him lead you, first of all. Because
They
ain't nobody
can't.
leading him. Ain't nobody leading him. Who's leading
Right.
him? He walking blinded. It's what
Mm-hmm.
two where two blind people gonna go? Straight into a ditch.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, pedaling back to the topic, We gotta teach our daughters the same as we teach our sons. Just like we want our daughters to keep their virginity until they meet the right one, our sons need to do the same thing. You know, even if they don't listen, we still got to set those morals. We got to set those standards for them. Like, hey, you know, don't be just giving out I tell my sons, I say, protect your seed, you know, because you don't want to end up out here with 5 different baby mamas. You on child support. Protect your seed.
Yeah.
That means don't go out here having sex with any and everybody.
Yeah.
You need to get with a woman and you need to love her, be serious with her, and build with her. And until you're ready, don't be having unprotected sex, no matter how good it feels.
Yeah.
You know, and they, so far, so good. You know, we only had one scare, and they're dating only one girl at a time.
That's
you know,
good.
so they're listening to me, you know, but at the same time, they seen me and their father.
Yeah.
You know, they seen a mother and father sticking together, working together. So I don't know, girl. I think with the Black family, we have to really go back to the morals and standards of our ancestors.
Right.
What I can't say grandpa because he lost his mind. We got to go with great grandpa.
I know my grandpa lost his, baby.
Okay, we're not talking about the Rolling Stones. We're not talking about the Pimps. We're not talking about the Macs. We're talking about the real grandfathers. The ones who was loyal to their wives, loyal to their families.
Yes.
And they kept the family morals. They kept the family standards. We're talking about those men.
Yes.
We have to get back to that.
Yeah.
If we don't get back to that, the Black family has no way of surviving.
Yeah.
You know, we have to get back to the Martin Luther King days. You seen how he treated Coretta Scott, with her name Coretta Scott King?
Yeah.
The way he treated with dignity, respect, he kept God first. Like, that's how you have to have your foundation. If you don't have that foundation, you don't have a family.
Exactly. And you want to know something? You were just talking about the grandfathers. We always want to go back to talking about Big Mama.
But what about Big Daddy?
But we never say nothing about Grandpa.
Girl, you better
We always speak on Big Mama keeping the family together, Grandma keeping the family together. We never speak on Grandpa. Because we know Grandpa had multiple families. Grandpa had a family over there, and there.
But see, that's Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Exactly.
That we not talking about that Big Daddy. We talking about real Big Daddy. We talking about Big Daddy. He had 8, 9 kids, and he only had eyes for Big Mama. See, you talking about Rolling Stone. You talking about the Papa that was in everybody's house but his home, not him. No, we talking about the original OG, Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Big Daddy, the one that raised the family and had 8 or 9 kids, and he didn't do that. We had times when the Black man was loyal to his family.
We don't hear much about that though, because I don't. But that's why I was speaking on, you know, we talk about Big Mama so much, but I always forget about, you know, the grandfather. But, you know, within our generation, our grandfather, you know, was the Rolling Stone, like you were saying. So we're always talking about Big Mama, keeping the family together. And after Big Mama died, families kind of separated because it wasn't no structure there anymore. Everybody do what they want to do. It's just too much separation, and I am completely sick of it. I really am.
The thing is, everybody got to know their positions. If you're an auntie, play your role. If you're a cousin, play your role. If you're a grandmother, play your role. If you're a mother, play your role. If you're a father, play your role. In the Black community, we have to get back to doing our roles. It takes a village. And the thing is, auntie don't want to babysit no kids. Grandma don't want to babysit no kids. So then we got to send the kids off to daycare. They can get molested. They can get kidnapped. They can go off to school and get shot because some crazy man then came in the house and came in the schools and shot everybody.
So much going on.
Exactly. We don't have no other choice. For the Black community right now, we got to have that Big Mama at home that can do the homeschooling, that auntie that's in education that can start the family community schools. Like, Black people just got to get the family structure back together, and that's healing. First thing first, we have to heal. We have to do the work individually. People got to go to therapy, got to get right with the Lord. They got to get their minds right, get their spirits right, and then we could get back to building. That period. I mean, that's all I really can say on that. We have to heal the family, and people got to get back in their position. And men have to understand you cannot blame the woman. That's like, say we're at a corporation, we're at work, and our supervisor, he's the boss. And the big boss, the owner of the business come in and he's saying, what's going on with my business? Why my business ain't in order? And the supervisor go yelling, oh, it's the workers. That's the workers. No, the boss is going to fire the supervisor because I left you in charge of my business. Same thing with the family. God left the man in charge of the family. So if the family is out of order, I'm not playing the blame game. I'm just, women lie, men lie, but numbers don't.
Exactly.
If God left the man in charge of the family, it's his fault the family ain't in order. I'm going to just keep it honest.
Right.
Because God gave you that, he gave you that position.
Yep.
You cannot blame the woman. You can't blame the kids. You can't blame the dog. It is the man. So the man, he has to heal and he has to get himself back in order. Because if the head's in order, then the whole body's in order.
Most definitely.
If your head ain't right, your whole body ain't right.
Right.
Thank you guys for tuning in and Let a Black Woman Speak on it. You guys can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Anchor, updating soon, and Let a Black Woman Speak on it.